Hello everyone, and welcome back for the final time this season for the Formula 2 finale in Abu Dhabi. We are currently in the midst of an epic title fight with Nobuharu Matsushita. He is 13 points ahead of us, so we need to get pole position and the 4 points that come with it if we want to stand a chance at taking this title today. So here we go for our second flying lap in qualifying. The first lap did not put us where we would like to be, so we need to improve and get pole position. That is the only option for us. Otherwise, it will be a very, very difficult ask for us to win the championship. So let's just get on with the job and see if we can bring home those 4 bonus points. We've got Tatiana Calderon ahead of us. We'll get a bit of a slipstream along the straights, and that could be absolutely crucial with how close things are. We are improving on our first lap despite a few mistakes in the first sector, but it's only green, it's not purple, so that could be an issue for us. But this is the sector. We should be able to bring that back with a bit of slipstream from the Arden car in front of us, and along this second straight, hopefully she will move out of the way. But again, we're going to get a lovely bit of slipstream. Calderon tries to move out of the way, but we're actually going to sit behind and grab a bunch of slipstream that gains us several tenths of a second, and that is mega important for our lap. Now we just need to bring it home with the time we've gained and hope that it's enough to boost us up onto pole position. So as we come around the final few corners, let's see if we can bring home pole position for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Around the final corner towards the finish line. Where will we qualify?
The grid is all set for the race tomorrow, but before we go, let's quickly remind ourselves of our top 3, which are the scientist, Matsushita, and Jordan King. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the feature race tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
And we do get pole position for the Abu Dhabi feature race, so that is crucial. We get those 4 points, we close to just 9 behind Matsushita. So if we can win this race with the fastest lap, we will tie things up, assuming Matsushita finishes where he starts in second place. But there's a lot to play out between now and then. And as a side note, Correa is still technically within reach of the championship, but he will need to win this race and potentially the next one as well to even have a chance. So yeah, he's an outside bet too. But anyway, let's get into the race, see what happens.
It's race day for our young drivers here in the United Arab Emirates, where the Yas Marina circuit is about to play host to the Abu Dhabi Formula 2 race. Let's get started. Yas Marina circuit is a 3.4-mile racetrack built on the man-made Yas Island. In addition to the 21 corners, it features 2 very long straights. Now these will be the drivers' main overtaking chances today, into turn 8 and turn 11. I'm sitting here, quite emotional, next to my friend Davide Valsecchi. Here we are at the end of the F2 calendar, and the atmosphere is electric. I have no doubt that the drivers will be giving it everything they have out there today. I can't wait to get underway.
Hey Alex, you are absolutely right. It's a very special place. This is a track like no other, an event like no other, a jewel in the crown of Formula 2. It's perfect. I think we are in for a fantastic racing event here.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's results, the look at the starting grid. The scientist lines up on pole position, and Nobuharu Matsushita completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have King, De Vries, Juan Manuel Correa, and Aylot, Boccalacci, Aitken, Schumacher, Luca Giotto, Hubert, Mazepin, Louis Delatraz, and Joe, Tete Camara, Alesi, Calderon, and Ralph Boschon. Latifi and Mahavir Raghunathan starts from the back of the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
We need all the momentum in the world at this point, but starting on pole position, we have the perfect opportunity to take the fight to Matsushita in this final race. One stop, usual strategy, no weather to interfere here in Abu Dhabi. Checking the strategy, we're trying to make sure we do everything right today. No one is starting on the alternative tyre, so There is no funny business going on. It's just a flat out race to the end as we get ready to go to the 5 red lights. And the lights are out and we are underway for the Abu Dhabi feature race from pole position, but it's not been a great start. Matsushita has already pulled alongside us into the first corner. We're running side by side through turn 1 and Matsushita takes the lead as we head towards turn 2. So it's been a great start by the Japanese driver and he leads us away through the first sector. But we're going to try to come back at him as soon as possible, maybe even into the chicane. We have a look down the inside and immediately go for the move and take the lead back from our rival and take back control of the title fight as things stand at the moment.
That's what we like to see at the start. Well done.
Thank you, Jeff. So that is the start we needed. Matsushita got a poor exit out of the hairpin, so we just need to try and pull away from our rival. And what we want now is a quiet race. We'll just mind our own business and try to get to the end. But I have a feeling Matsushita will not go down without a fight in this one. He has a chance to more or less wrap up the title if he beats me today. So that is what we're playing for. We can keep the title fight alive if we win, or he can wrap it up if he does. So the stakes are incredibly high and we both have very, very valid reasons to fight very hard for the race win today. So let's hope that we can have a clean fight to the end of the race. But for now, we've managed to take the lead and lead the first lap of the race. There is still a long, long way to go though. 31 laps in this feature race around the Abu Dhabi circuit. Lovely conditions here at night as we run very wide through the second to last corner. And now we have to watch out for Matsushita, but I think we'll just about hold on for the time being. But yeah, these mistakes are something we cannot afford as we move on to the 4th lap of the race. Matsushita putting the pressure on as we head through the chicane and running a little bit wide out onto the curb. Matsushita is going to get a run on the exit with the DRS now enabled, of course, as well. Is going to go for the move around the outside along the next straight, and he might just be able to clear us before he gets to the corner. He does. We switch back to the outside of Matsushita, who locks up into the triple chicane, but we just have to slot in behind. We can't fight on the outside there. And Matsushita has taken control of the race once again. We currently have the fastest lap in our favour, but that is not enough for us. We need to take back the lead, and as we sit right behind him, a little look to the outside through the triple chicane, and we're going to force the issue. Round the outside, he gives us the room that we need, and around the outside again of the next corner, and we're going to be side by side as we head into these very fast right-handers, and we're just about going to squeeze through on the inside. Matsushita thankfully leaves us the room and backs out of that battle. Otherwise that could have been a big disaster for both of us, but thankfully again we managed to fight cleanly and come out on top for the time being. So yeah, we need to just try again to pull away from Matsushita. We could for a while, and then the tires overheat and we lose traction just like we've done there. Matsushita straight away
Lost the position. Try to keep focus.
tries the move around the outside. We dive it back to the inside and manage to maintain the position. But once again, out of the hairpin, Matsushita is coming towards us, and we have to try to defend this to the inside. Matsushita looks to the outside as we head towards the chicane. We're gonna try and hold it to the inside, but he's got the car up there on the outside. We have to leave him a bit of space. We run ourselves wide though, not quite knowing where he is, and we're still running side by side as we head along the straight towards the triple chicane, but Matsushita pulls through ahead of us, and we just have to sit behind. We're going to go for the move down the inside, very close on the right hand side there. We have to leave Matsushita the space, but we managed to pull ahead once again of our rival and maintain the lead on what is now only the 6th lap of this race. And we have had action aplenty as we continue through. And as we get a bit of wheel spin on the exit, Matsushita, who's still sitting right behind us, makes the move.
You can win that place back.
And now we have to sit in the slipstream. He's got the DRS, and it seems like it's actually fairly even along the straights, the DRS versus slipstream, in terms of how much pace that you can gain from it. So that is fortunate for us to know. But we have a good exit out of the chicane. DRS and slipstream on our side this time. Hopefully we'll be able to make a move to the inside. Matsushita squeezes us right to the edge of the track as we go down the inside, but we should be able to make the move nice and easy this time and move ourselves back up into the race lead ahead of Matsushita. Meanwhile, Jordan King and the likes behind us must be wondering what on earth we are doing, battling each other so hard, but that is what it means to win this race. It is crucial for both of us at this point to try to take this win, so we need to fight incredibly hard as we lose the back end again, and the tyres are starting to not be so favourable for us as Matsushita goes to the outside as we head towards the penultimate corner. We're trying to hold him off, and at this point I've had enough of these tyres. We're going to box on this lap, and it is time for us to go onto the mediums. Jordan King follows us in. I believe actually it's the softs that are the harder compound this week, and King pits right in front of us. Thankfully that's not going to hold us up.
Exit now. You'll be racing as you leave the pits. Exit now.
And this is a brief chance for us to catch our breath.
Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
Before we get going once again, and we have to push absolutely flat out on this lap and try and make sure that Matsushita does not get the overcut on us. Obviously we have cold tyres on this lap, so the undercut isn't quite as powerful as it might be in F1 cars, where cold tyres don't really exist. It's not really an issue with the tyre blankets. So yeah, it doesn't always pay off in Formula 2, but thankfully this time Matsushita is only coming out of the tunnel now, and we are well clear of him by the time he rejoins the race circuit, but still in second place, so the undercut didn't work.
That's a new fastest lap of the race.
For Jordan King, as we get a series of fastest laps, and I can say on this tyre we were feeling very comfortable, and yeah, these fastest laps were coming in thick and fast, and you'll notice now we've moved all the way along to lap 28 of this race. There wasn't a lot happening in that final stint, as we run a little bit wide out on over those bumpy curbs there. They can literally send you to the moon if you're not careful, but thankfully we stay on planet Earth and can continue on this lap. We're just going for fastest lap after fastest lap basically to try and pull as far away from Matsushita as possible and try to just book in this win with fastest lap, and you know, keep us in the title fight basically. If Matsushita takes the fastest lap, even if he doesn't take the win, he will have a 4-point advantage to us heading into the final race, and that is a big difference in the sprint race, where it's only 15 points for a win, and it is unlikely that we would even get there. We'd need to basically finish with, you know, 1 or 2 or more cars between us if he gets fastest lap. So yeah, we just need to keep this through, keep the race lead, keep the fastest lap, as we have a purple middle sector as well, so it looks like we are good to improve on our current best lap. I think this is the fastest lap that we set of the entire race, which is why I'm showing the entire circuit, and yeah, we just need to get this rest of this lap in, and it should be good enough to hold on to those 2 bonus points for the fastest lap, and then we can just coast to the finish line. We've got a big gap now back to Matsushita. This second stint on these tyres has really suited our car, as we have a mechanical failure for Dorian Boccolacci, the winner of the first race, I believe, of the season, but he has since faded from the championship contention, unfortunately for him. He was only a whisker away from being in contention in the final few rounds, but yeah, a bit of inconsistency and unreliability has prevented him from being part of the title fight. But we're on to the final lap of the race now for the feature race in Abu Dhabi, and there is not much separating us between where we are now and what will be our first feature race win of this season. I can't believe we've done all of this racing so far and we have not yet won in a feature race scenario. That is kind of unbelievable in itself. So yeah, that is something kind of crazy, but we're actually still pushing absolutely flat out. You can see a green sector and a purple sector, so we are going for another fastest lap, because occasionally the AI can put in an alien fast lap time at the end. It's probably more so in F1 when they turn the engine up and use all the battery power, but we come around the final corner to win the sprint race in Abu Dhabi.
Great drive. We did it. Good job.
And we do also improve our lap time as well. And we will book in the fastest lap as Giuliano Alesi gets the driver of the day.
A great win then for the Prema team today. Tell me, Davide, what was the key to this success?
This race, this win, was about one thing and one thing only: consistency. Anyone can be quick for just one lap, but there's a difference between that and being quick every lap, over and over and over. If you can do that, if you can gain ground when your opponents make mistakes, but then not make mistakes on your own, you can just push and push.
As we look back on a thrilling race here today, we can now see the drivers take their places on the podium. It's a familiar sight by now, as it's another successful F2 win for Prema.
So we take the race win. Matsushita finishes in second. We are going to be tied level in the championship. What a final race we have coming, and we'll be starting side by side on the grid.
So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. It was not the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. And now, Davide Valsecchi, let me ask you, who is your driver of the day?
I think Giuliano Alesi. It was just a masterclass. He was faster than everyone else. He got it.
So then, after today's event, Prema have claimed the team's championship. Meanwhile, a strong weekend from ART this time out, and they improved their position in the championship. After all this drama, you'll be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
So, what to say about that? The second half of the race, nothing really happened for us. We just pushed flat out. But yeah, mega battles with Matsushita in the first half. When we had overheating tires, he was very, very quick. We had to be very aggressive in the DRS zones to keep the fight going. But now we are on level points. Matsushita is still leading the championship on countback. So in a very similar vein to F1 2019 and the situation with Devon Butler, we need to beat Matsushita in this next race to win the championship. It's exactly the same scenario, except yeah. Anyway, what else to say about this race though? The reverse grid pole will go to Hubert. Mick Schumacher will also be on the front row, so those two young drivers will be scrapping away for the sprint race win, while the championship may be decided in 7th or 8th position. So yeah, interesting times ahead in the final race. So yeah, without wasting too much more time, we'll just get into it and see who can take the F2 Championship for 2019. But you got to watch the rest of these highlights first.
Welcome back for the final event of the weekend, the sprint race. Here, the top 8 from yesterday's feature race are reversed to make up the grid below us, and in just a few minutes, those drivers will be hurtling down into turn 1. As we await the start of another hugely anticipated Formula 2 race, I'm joined again by Davide Valsecchi. Davide, as a former GP2 champion, can we get some insight to what is running through these young drivers' heads as they sit out on the grid?
Ciao Alex, it's a pleasure to be here. There are nervy moments, there is no doubts about that. Mental strength is the key to remain calm and focusing on the upcoming race. Formula 2 is so competitive and all of these drivers knows that they are going to be pushing each other all of the way. In this sport, you have to be able to control your nerves.
We're still in with a shot at the driver's title. It's down to this. Now go out there and come back a champion.
Alright, just for some added pressure, the big boss at Red Bull have said whoever wins this championship will get a drive at AlphaTauri. So let's go and earn that drive in Formula 1 as we get ready to go to the 5 red lights for the final time in the Formula 2 2019 season. The lights are out and we are underway for the sprint race in Abu Dhabi. Matsushita gets a good start, immediately covers us off as we try to make our way to the outside. There's a small window emerging and we take full advantage of it, but we run a little bit wide out over the curb on the exit. Matsushita manages to get through on the inside. We have a little hook trying to go up the inside of turn 3. That was never going to work out for us. We're just going to be patient behind him for the time being. We might be able to make a move into the chicane, but we're just going to stay calm for now. There's plenty of opportunities coming later on in the race. We don't need to take any silly risks this early on in the day. So yeah, we just are going to stay calm for the time being and try and either wait for a mistake or make the move when an easier opportunity emerges. But while we're all stuck in traffic, we just need to be very, very patient in these opening few laps. But we're going to have a little look down the inside and we might actually get it done on Matsushita as they're all holding each other up in the braking zone. We have to leave a little bit of space on the apex there as Matsushita still tries to fight on, as now Delatraz is getting involved as well, but I imagine he won't cause any interference with his own teammate fighting for the title, and indeed Delatraz stays out of the battle for the time being as we immediately catch up to Nick de Vries due to just the field spread on the opening lap. It shows you how much time you lose back in the pack, and well, we're not even back in the pack. De Vries is running in 6th place, but you know, we managed to make up all that time in just one corner. So yeah, that's what I mean about we just have to be patient in these opening few laps and make the move whenever we can. Matsushita actually dropped a bunch of time in that final sector, so that's not good signs for him. Hopefully he doesn't have some kind of issue. But through the final corner, we actually get a really good exit against Nick de Vries. We might make the move to the outside as we head towards the first corner. We're going to be last of the late breakers on the outside line, and we'll sweep around and take the position and move ourselves up into 6th. Nick de Vries back down into 7th. He's had a relatively quiet season compared to what I might have expected from him, and again, he has dropped a position in this race. But we move on, and we are following Callum Milot, who is right behind Jordan King. King with a bit of a mistake, as we have a mistake as well, but Ilott is going to try to make the move on King to the inside along the back straight. They're going to be side by side as we desperately look around to make sure there's no one making the move on us as we go down the inside of King and Ilott, and we're going to just manage to miss the braking zone, and we'll have to give those two positions back. So yeah, aggressive move, but thankfully as I was checking, no one was immediately behind us, so there was no issues there. We didn't have to you know, try any magic of giving the positions back without losing time, and yeah, thankfully we can play on once again and try to catch up to these two as they've lost a bit of time to the leading pack. So on we go. Once again, Jordan King is the car ahead as we're trying to line up a good exit out of turn 3. King's running a little bit wide there out on the bumpy curbs. We make the move to the outside and pinch him to the apex of the chicane, and we'll just about slide through and take what is currently 5th position in the Abu Dhabi sprint race. Matsushita no longer within 2 cars of us, so I can't really keep tabs on his position anymore, but I'm sure he'll find his way through soon enough, as we go very deep into the hairpin though, and we may lose a position here as King finds his way back past. Matsushita is still in 7th position, sorry 8th position for the time being, but for us we're in the slipstream of Jordan King. Again, the slipstream with DRS proving to be quite similar in power, as King swerves in front of us all over the place in the breaker zone. Contact with Nick De Vries as well, and De Vries squeezes through. Now Matsushita is getting involved as well. I mentioned he was getting involved in this fight a little bit earlier, as we are going to try to re-overtake De Vries. He covers off the inside. We go to the outside of De Vries into the chicane. De Vries very deep into the corner and makes some contact with King, squeezes through on the inside. The racing getting very argy-bargy at this point in the race. Matsushita trying to get involved as well, as we got a good exit against King, who was beached on the curb by Nick De Vries. We make the move around the outside of Jordan King, and now we are behind Nick De Vries. Not going to try and make a move into that little hairpin there. That would never end well. So we managed to come out relatively well out of that little battle. Nick De Vries somehow, I don't think, has damage after making some fairly hefty contact, has to be said, with Jordan King, but yeah, he got away with that one. Matsushita still not able to overtake Jordan King, so that is ideal circumstances for us, as we're going to try to come back again, and Nick De Vries, we're just going to be nice and cautious into the chicane, and we'll see if we can get a nice exit, trying to set up a good line through the right hand. It can be a little bit awkward, especially if you're following someone, but we've got a decent exit. We've got the DRS as we head towards the triple chicane. De Vries is going to block off the inside line. He moves right across to the outside again, almost squeezing us out of road. Leaves us just enough space, but we're just going to be cautious once again. We don't need to try anything silly while we're in the position that we are to win the championship, but right now our bigger problem is Jordan King, because he is putting the pressure on as well as we run wide out of the chicane. Jordan King will be looking for a move, but Matsushita's got a run on Jordan King. We're going to try and block him off, but he's already coming in with the momentum, so we can't be making any contact with him like that. And he goes for the move on the inside of the chicane as well, and Matsushita still running side by side through the next left-hander into the final sector now, and he might actually make this move around the outside, so close to contact, and we're going to back out of that battle. We tried to make that move in the previous race. It paid off for us then. I wasn't going to take that risk though, and for the time being Matsushita finds his way ahead of us and moves himself up into 6th position. We're back down to 7th, and we need to have a rethink and come back at him at some point. So a big aggressive line through as Matsushita loses the back end out of the hairpin. This is the opportunity that we need to overtake our rival to the outside along the straight. Not the wisest choice, because the track narrows up and we find ourselves off circuit there, but thankfully we are able to rejoin the circuit safely there and make the move on our rival. But we're going to be on an awkward line on the exit. Matsushita might be able to come back at us here, as he's got a decent exit, but I think we might just be okay. But he's got the DRS and he's closing at a rapid speed. He goes to the inside, and we're going to try and take the normal racing line, carry the momentum through on the outside, and it looks like we might just be able to hold on this occasion against Matsushita, and we do, and move ourselves, or maintain ourselves in 6th position right now. But as we move on to lap 16 of 22, Jordan King is going to come back at us. He's gotten ahead of Matsushita, has gone down the inside of us, and we're just going to let him through and try to get a switch back onto the next straight. And as he's got a compromised line, that is very likely, and with the DRS we should be able to make the move back on Jordan King, as we are weaving around a lot along the straight, but we're not going to get close enough to Jordan King. We're trying to get in the mirrors, trying to make him move around and defend, but he was not falling for it on this occasion. So yeah, we just need to refocus and try to regain that position. Right now we've got the fastest lap of the race. That is a bit of a safety net for us if Matsushita finishes right behind us. If Matsushita does finish right behind us with the fastest lap, the championship's up in the air once again, and it will go back to who wins on count back as we go around the outside to the inside of Jordan King. And now Matsushita though is immediately going to take the advantage there and make the move on Jordan King and move himself back up into 7th position. We are up in 6th once again, but as we continue on onto the penultimate lap of the race, what I feared has just happened. Matsushita has set the fastest lap of the race and taken it away from us. So as things stand at the moment, Nobuharu Matsushita will win the championship based on countback. So we need to bring home either another position or push for our fastest lap. We've got Mick Schumacher in front of us now. Nick de Vries has overtaken our teammate, so maybe we could send a word to the boss, and maybe Schumacher can make our lives a little bit easier, but we'll worry about that on the final lap. For the time being, we have a chance of setting the fastest lap. We've got some clean air in front of us, so that is exactly what we're going to try and do on lap 21, and try to yeah, just take matters into our own hands, take the fastest lap back, and that will reassure this position for us in the championship fight, as we have broken away from Matsushita. That is crucial, that he doesn't have DRS from us, so it will be harder for him to set fastest laps if he doesn't have DRS from us. I think that's how we did it in the first place at this stage in the race, while we already had a fastest lap of the race previously. But anyway, through the final sector now, we should be able to carry this momentum through. We've got a purple middle sector, so we are on target to set the fastest lap. It's a red first sector, but it's not by much, so we just need to not get held up by our teammate through these final few corners, and we should be able to take the fastest lap of the race back from Nobuharu Matsushita, and yet could just confirm our championship lead position, because right now it's up in the air, but we do take that fastest lap back, and we are close enough to Mick Schumacher, so we may be able to make a move on our teammate if need be. I still would like to have that position and have a car between us just in case Matsushita steals it back on the final lap. So let's see what we can do. We'll have a good opportunity along straight. We're quite close behind him as we head towards the hairpins, so we'll have the DRS, we'll have the slipstream. Matsushita is not immediately behind us, so we've got every opportunity to overtake our teammate quite easily here. So DRS along the straight in the slipstream, and we'll just see the speed build up and build up and build up. Schumacher moves across to the left. He's going to potentially just let us past here around the outside into the chicane, but we're going a little bit too deep, and Schumacher is a little bit unsure on what to do. He leaves us the space, and he's got a bad exit though, and Matsushita drives straight past him, and that is not what we needed. But thankfully, I think due to the battling, there won't be much chance he has of setting a fastest lap of the race anyway. But just to be doubly sure, we're going to go at a pedestrian pace through this final sector and make sure there is no chance that he can take the fastest lap on the final lap of the race, as Antoine Hubert comes around the final corner, and he is going to win the sprint race in Abu Dhabi. A poetic way to end the season for the Frenchman, and he takes the final win as we come around for an even bigger prize in this season, because we have enough points to win the Formula 2 Drivers' Championship.
Fantastic drive, and it means you're Drivers' World Champion. What a result. Enjoy it.
Ooh, what a race. What a season. Driver of the day as well.
There were questions at the start of the season as to whether they could really go all the way, but there's no question anymore. What a special year it's been, and here they are, the new Formula 2 World Drivers' Champion. Here's our winner pulling their Arden into Parc Ferme then. What a fantastic race. Davide, what do you think made the difference here?
It was down to one thing: consistent pace over everyone else out there on the track. We could spend a great deal of time talking about race and tire strategy, what else occurred on the track, but at the end of the day, the difference here was down to simply being faster on track than everyone else. Amazing skill on show.
The scientist takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship. And so, driver of the day then, Davide Valsecchi, who do you think you'd go for?
It's a difficult call, but I'm going to give it to the Prema driver. That was a commanding performance today. Very impressive indeed.
So then, after today's event, Prema have claimed the team's championship. Meanwhile, good work from Campos this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. And after all that excitement, I think it's time for a lie down. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you when Formula 2 returns.
There we go. That's it. The season's over. 12 rounds, 24 races, and we end up being separated by just 4 points in the end. Matsushita made all the right moves, overtook all the cars that we overtook, but unfortunately for him, he didn't overtake the most important one. And we earn ourselves that seat at AlphaTauri for the 2020 Formula 1 season, and very much looking forward to that. I have thoroughly enjoyed this season of Formula 2 cars racing. They are incredibly fun to drive, and the racing with the AI is always mega close, and yeah, I highly recommend giving these cars a try, because they are so much fun. Really enjoy these things. But anyway, back to talking about this championship. It was insanely close. To begin with, our title rivals were Dorian Boccolacci and Juan Manuel Correa. They were the speedy ones at the start of the season, but after a few races, Matsushita got some momentum, started winning so many feature races, and that really pulled him into title contention. And it got very close into this final race. Obviously, a no score in Russia for us was not ideal, but we managed to pull back from that and take home the championship win. We also brought home the team's championship win as well, which is something I've never done in Formula 2. Wasn't able to achieve it with Campos or Arden in F1 2019, so awesome to bring that home this time. And but other than that, there isn't too much left to say, so I'll say thank you very much for watching, and I will see you for the first season of Formula 1 very soon. Goodbye.
And so the celebrations begin, and well earned they are indeed. It may have looked simple at times, but as any racing driver will tell you, competing at this level, at the very top, is anything but simple. There's no catching them now then. We have a new World Drivers' Champion.